Yes, greetings. We're there with you. Greetings, things and times there with you. We want to deal with some black history, African history, and present something that is very important, and we're going to mix it with what is actually happening right now in the world as well. So we're going to take a step to look at the American Constitution, to look at the American political structure and how it actually views and treat African Americans today, yesterday and today, because it was born yesterday and it's being applied, it continued to be applied today. So without further, we want to wake up the souls because that's one of the things I do. And let's go. Yo, come here. Oh, if you've never been listening to the lyrical content of what I play, please listen to the lyrical content. Everything that I play. If the beat hold you, cool, but still listen to the lyrical content. Because this is my musical Bible. Yes, and that's very true. No matter how much we've experienced throughout the decades, we still here. And we must celebrate day after day our ancestors. whether we just say, yeah, we remember them, that's it. Because celebrate means a lot of things. Some people do our libation and everything. I'm not into that. You understand? But just the remembrance of them are just, you can just deal with the remembrance of your grandparents. You understand? Because they paved the way for us. So we should not deny them and we should make effort. One more tune. Listen, education, you know?
Say they bring them bag of troubles and they bring them bag of worries. Say they bring them bag of troubles and they bring them bag of worries. He they live in desolation everywhere. But we have no fear of modern warfare. Down the line of history we came, suffering and weeping, they arrange things their way. Oh yeah, so they bring them bag of troubles and they bring them bag of worries. Say they bring them bag of troubles and they bring them bag of worries. The world has been uneven, yeah. Save the massive poor people, oh yeah. 10,000 miles away from home. What can we do but watch and wait? Watcher is always behind your gate. So bring them bag of trouble. I say they bring them bag of worries. Yes, they bring them bag of troubles and they bring them bag of worries.
Yes, bag of trouble. The greatest enemy of ours has been and still is divide and rule. And we allow such things to penetrate our intelligence, our faculties, our sensibilities. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't. We should enjoy being close with ourselves. We should have exchange, tolerant exchange and communication. We're of that age of technology. We're of that age of pure understanding. We're of that age where we have developed a culture outside, our cultures outside of our native land called Africa. We have done that. So let us brand ourselves and humble ourselves and reason among ourselves. Okay.
My darling, you know I'm worried, and you know what I'm going through. That you give me a lot of trouble, a bag of trouble. What the trouble? A lot of trouble, a bag of trouble. What the trouble? Lonely night we spent together, me and you watching the weather. Nobody knows we really feel. You're almost lost in a dream. Get to give you a lot of trouble, a bag of trouble. What the trouble?
Yes, we will come back to that again because it's not that I am slapping my sisters, It's just that sometimes we not spend enough time and delicacy with them. So when them get influenced by other than us, then we wonder what hit us so hard. And we have to be sincere, kind, and cordial and protective of our women, our sisters, our queens, and treat them upright. Yes, we have to be men, not boys, not children. We're past that age, we're matured now. Let's go. African history, African American and African history throughout the Americas and the Caribbean. Listen.
All right. We're going to get into Slavery by Another Name. And this book is by Douglas A. Blackman. If you look on PBS, you're going to see all kind of information about this book. They've turned it into a movie, a TV series, documentary. The book just grew. I believe it won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's been well awarded. What it is, this is not even a historian. So this is a lot of scholars, PhD historians that crap on the book. But I really think it's because their books don't do as well that they're hating. But he is not a trained historian. I do not think he is a PhD or technical scholar. But what he found was a part of United States history that had either gone unknown or untalked about. And it was about the system of convict leasing that came about right after the passage of the 13th Amendment. In fact, immediately after the passage of the 13th Amendment. In fact, I've talked to some professors about it. And when you bring up convict leasing, they go, oh, that was abolished real quick, immediately. Well, it wasn't like thousands of people didn't die from it, so it never should have been in place. But this was something that wasn't known. And one thing that really wasn't known about it was stereotypically, we talk about the South being the groups that extracted wealth from slavery. But in this particular reading, and as I get deeper into it, I'll find out more, because I gutted it before, but now I'm actually doing an analysis of this book with two others. I'm really kind of getting deep into it. This book points out something that jumped out at me because I'm from Gary, Indiana. The company that they were leasing these quote-unquote convicts to were northern companies. And in this particular book, it was a coal and iron rail company that was a subsidiary of U.S. Steel. Now, I know U.S. Steel is a northern company based in Gary, Indiana. I have been in the headquarters of U.S. Steel many times in my life because I am from Gary, Indiana. So I also know the history of U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel was built by Andrew Carnegie, the big philanthropist, billionaire. Yeah, he made money off of slave labor. It was Carnegie Steel until it was purchased from him by J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan made it the biggest steel conglomerate in the world. But during that time, it was used, it benefited from slavery. Now, what is convict leasing? Obviously, when slavery ended, chattel slavery ended. Okay? Always have to make that distinction because slavery never ended in the United States. It's actually secured by the 13th Amendment, not stopped by the 13th Amendment. Right? The first thing that happened was the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. That proclamation set free Southern slaves in the rebel states. Did not set free all slaves, just those slaves. Then in 1865 came the 13th Amendment that abolished chattel slavery. But it clearly states, except there will be no involuntary servitude or slavery within the United States, except as a punishment for a crime. Well, a couple of things are going on at this time. Except for punishment at a crime. So except means in this case, we can have slavery. It did not say convicts. It did not say rehabilitation. It said slavery. Read it. Still on the books. Didn't change. All right. Now, what we have to think about, and this is going to be more than one video. When emancipation was coming, the Southerners who were against abolition was bringing about the Black Brute theory. That was when they were changing from the Uncle Tom, from the Uncle Remus from the Aunt Jemima, where the black people were gregarious. They were happy with their situation. They needed to be led. They weren't dangerous. They weren't very productive, but if they were led, they could, be of help to society. That was the image that whites maintained as part of their cognitive dissonance for black people and promoted for black people to make what they were doing jive with the Christian religion, which was supposed to be their quote unquote moral fiber. As they saw slavery coming to an end, they had to come up with a reason that justified black people staying in their role, so they couldn't say that they were jolly and nice and friendly and not formidable, slow-witted. So they came up with the Black Brute theory for several reasons. Number one, black men was pissed at all the things that white men had done to them and that they would rebel if they were free. Number two, they went to the intelligence thing still. Well, they're violent. Now, of course, these were the same people that were happy-go-lucky. Now they've suddenly became about 1840, which if you go back to my 1840 to 1910, the black identity starts to make sense. They are now depicting black people as these formidable opponents that particularly are not only aggressive, but sexually aggressive. So this is the beginning of the new black identity that exists today, the identity of the criminal that is directly consistent with the 13th Amendment. So if it's consistent with the 13th Amendment, it allows, by way of the exception clause, it allows black people to remain slaves because they have criminal tendencies. They did not have it from 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia to 1865. They're happy go, well, not 1865, about 1840, when they saw the freedom of slaves coming. Then it suddenly started to change to, wow, this person is dangerous, they're a criminal. And suddenly, 15 years later, when the 13th Amendment is written, criminal is in there, is in the actual law. Don't forget, 1914, we had Birth of a Nation that showed the black man as this criminal that was the film was screened in the White House. So this was a major focus in United States culture. And if you don't believe that that film was successful in making a depiction in American society, not only was the black man shown as a rapist and a criminal and a formidable opponent to the white man, but in that movie, that was the first time a cross was burned by the Klan. The Klan had never burned crosses before. The director just thought it made a good cinematic look. But in American culture, that burning cross is as synonymous with the Klan, which was not true, as criminality is with black people in incarceration. Now, we're over 10 minutes, so we're going to have to come back and pick up with the actual convict leasing. Douglas Blackmon, Slavery by Another Name. Okay, Slavery by Another Name, Douglas Blackmon, Part 2. Now, we've talked about convict leasing, that this book actually brings in northern companies. So this is not just a southern dynamic. Us from the north we know that it was prejudice and racism all over the country. But living in Texas, I hear a lot of people that think that this was a southern thing. And now apparently it wasn't as bad in the north, but it was bad in the north. And Douglas Blackmon actually brings out that the people in the north, or the businesses in the north, weren't above benefiting from slavery, and had pointed out that large companies had subsidiary companies in the South that dealt with labor, particularly coal mines and iron mines, that used arrested blacks to continue doing their work for them. So I would imagine during slavery, it's reasonable to believe that they actually had slaves doing it. That's why I actually say that this leaves it to reason that Andrew Carnegie benefited directly from slavery as well. But to get back on track with the book, this book is based in Alabama in 1908, and it gets into how convict leasing actually worked, which is sick. It really kind of makes you mad. Now they knew, the South, when I say they, the South, the business owners, they knew that their workforce was about to leave immediately. They saw that they were losing the war. They knew that slavery was the issue at hand, and this was not a moral issue. This was not an issue that slavery was wrong. This was an economic issue. The South had an economy based on slavery, thanks to Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson extended slavery with the Trail of Tears when he took over all of that land from the Native Americans, made them move by gunpoint. Many of them died on the way or when they got there, and created vast cotton lands that made the industry explode again. So the Southern economy was built on agriculture and producing raw materials for industrialized nations, which was basically going over to Europe and the transatlantic economy. But the industrialization or the Industrial Revolution that began in Europe actually came over to northern United States, where the economy of the northern United States was not built on agriculture or raw materials. It was built on processing. It was built on industry. So at the time that the two started to conflict, now the reason why they went to war was over the land that was taken from Texas to California from Mexico. So that if you go back to our reparations, that's why I always say, first people to get reparations, Native Americans, their land that was taken. Black people built the country on the land that was taken. Third, Mexico. From Idaho to the Mexican border, from Texas to California, was taken from Mexico. So that's why it should be in that order. When they took that third, this is how the North wanted the country broken up. Poor whites, the frontiersmen, which historians don't like to use frontiersmen anymore because it presupposes no one was there. It was millions of Native Americans there. But once Andrew Jackson took all of that land, the North wanted that land for poor whites. The business metropolitan area was the New England area, and the slave agricultural area was supposed to be the southern states, as we knew it, were the quote-unquote plantation states. Because cotton is so rough on soil, they had to constantly keep moving. They didn't know about rotation of crops and that kind of stuff. So they would basically do cotton, it wouldn't grow anymore, so they would have to move somewhere else. So they're constantly moving over and expanding because that's what they know. That's their economy. Well, the North is saying, no, that area is for white people. They're saying, no, we want to extend slavery. Well, the poor white people are saying, if they have black people, if they got slaves over there working for free, I don't have nothing. Now, you got to think, the United States is booming. People are coming transatlantic over to the United States. So that's where you're running into this issue of trying to identify what caused this particular rift in that caused the Civil War. And that's what the interest was, that economic interest right there. What's going to happen with this new third of the country that's been taken from Mexico? Not morality. Okay, so now we know what that land is for. We know that Northern companies was definitely involved in benefiting from that. So, convict leasing. What they did with the emancipated slaves, they knew that this land, all of the labor was gone, right? And before we get to the convict leasing, let me get back to the whole North and South issue. This was not a morality thing, the fact that this was over slavery. What it was because the North had an independent economic source, and the South used their financial source to succeed and fight the North. Lincoln knew that he had to make sure that the South could never do that again. So what he did was he took what empowered them to do it, which was their money. He took their economy away from them. It was a war tactic. He had said in debates that if I could fix the Union, if I could save the Union without freeing a single slave, I would have. So I believe, but you also got to understand, that was also Lincoln who came up with the Freedmen's Bureau that took all the slaves' money and spent it on the railroad and went under within a decade or shortly over a decade. Yeah, I believe the Freedmen's Bureau started in 1865 and went under in 1874. And the money that was left, instead of settling some debt with the bank going over with the black people whose money they took, they actually ended up building the Treasury Department, which is called the what? Freedmen's Bureau. So that was not morality. That was not love. It was not Christianhood. That was an act of war, and it was a sense of permanency to keep the Union together, because there was no longer two independent income sources. All right, we're going to pick it up.
Buried in old courthouses, abandoned jails, libraries, and archives all across the South are tens of thousands of public documents and letters written by African Americans at the turn of the last century.
Mr. President, I have a brother about 14 years old. A man hired him from me and I heard of him no more. He went and sold him to McGree, and they's been working him in prison for 12 months. He's done nothing wrong for them to keep him in chains.
Written more than 40 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, these letters bear witness to a sinister and little-known chapter in American history.
Whenever one is in a conversation where someone says, what's wrong with black people? Why can't they get over it? Slavery ended 150 years ago. That's fundamentally false. The reality is that slavery and all of the limitations that it imposed on the future and the potential and the progress of African American families, it didn't end 150 years ago. It continued until World War II, well into the lives of large numbers of African Americans today.
For more than 80 years following the Civil War, hundreds of thousands of African Americans in the South were pulled back into the shadow of slavery.
Buying and selling African Americans ended with the 13th Amendment, but that did not translate into actual freedom.
One of the fascinating things about the text of that amendment is that it says that slavery is abolished, except in the case of a punishment for a crime.
With emancipation, the nature of both crime and punishment in the South changed dramatically. In state after state, county after county, laws were passed to criminalize black life.
It was a crime in the South for a farm worker to walk beside a railroad. It was a crime in the South to speak loudly in the company of white women. It was a crime to sell the products of your farm after dark. But the most damaging of all of these laws were the vagrancy statute. In every southern state, you became a criminal if you could not prove at any given moment that you were employed.
Once arrested, convicts were released and forced to labor in coal mines, lumber camps, brick factories, and turpentine farms. They were shackled, imprisoned, and tortured, sometimes to the point of death.
The fact that blacks were treated the way they were, like animals. People could be just picked up and put in jail. They could be lost in the system. Nobody knew how to find them. They could be buried in some grave somewhere and families still looking for them. Don't know where they are. I didn't know that the sheriff department could sell slaves to corporations, steel plants, and coal mines.
The constant threat of arrest and forced labor, like the threat of lynching, cast a shadow over the South. Slavery had ended, but true freedom had not begun.
I don't know that we touched on the system of convict leasing. Immediately after the Emancipation Proclamation, 1863, 1865 is the 13th Amendment, which is abolishment of chattel slavery. In 1867 is the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law. But immediately after that, starting in 1865, were two things: black codes, pig laws. Three things. Legislation, two. Black codes, pig laws. Third was convict leasing. Now, the black codes and the pig laws were really important. The black codes were made off of slave codes, and that allowed black people to be criminalized, just black life. So if you were black and could not prove that you had employment, you could be deemed a criminal or a risk to society, hence you would be arrested. Well, once you were arrested, you were charged fees for the arrest. Now, there did not have to be any proof that you did anything that you said you did. That was said that you did. And witnesses would be brought to corroborate the stories of your arrest, and the witnesses had to be paid. So one, not only were you arrested, two, you were assessed fees that exceeded your ability to pay these fees. So your criminality, blackness, was assessed to you by way of the black code. And you have to remember, going back before the Civil War, they had the changing of the black image from the Uncle Tom, the Aunt Jemima, happy-go-lucky, not very witty, to this formidable opponent, which is where the black brute came from. As to where he's going to rape white women, he's going to take back his revenge and aggression if he's set free. So that is where the entire exception clause of the 13th Amendment comes into play, as to where you can be a slave if it is a response to being punished for criminal activity. Well, there's no coincidence that that wording was used, and criminality would be the next identity given to the free labor, once a slave, now a criminal, and the bridge between slavery and non-slavery was criminality. So the only way to get back in the United States today, if you read the 13th Amendment, the only way to get back to slavery, or not back to, but get to slavery, is criminality. So the black codes criminalized black people, because in the book The Negro, or Negro in America by W.B. Du Bois, he clearly stated, yes, black crime went up upon emancipation, because black people, when they were emancipated, they were just freed. No plan, no nothing. 4 million people. You've never had to take care of yourself. You've never had to save money. You've never had to own land. You don't own the clothes that's on your back. Go. Well, hunger is going to kick in within a couple of days. So what started happening was people started to steal food. They got that hungry. People had kids. They're trying to feed their kids. And that's where the term pig laws came from. That white society had claimed, they claimed that one condition did not cause the other. They said that black people were always criminals. That's why they were enslaved. So when we let them go, there they go being criminals. Not thinking of the fact, we took them and brought them here. And we held them to do our work to make us rich. And then we let them go without anything to take care of themselves. So they're doing what they have to do. So what they said was this criminality was so bad, which furthered what? The code, criminality of blackness. That the pig laws said, okay, if you get caught doing something that's generally a misdemeanor, it's now a felony. And it's to where something is usually a $10 fine. For a black person, it's 5 years. Now, this is not new, and it should not sound new if you go back to the 1994 crime bill, which Bill Clinton, his wife Hillary Clinton, with the 3 strikes, you got life, long sentences. The war on drugs, these long sentences for crimes that were misdemeanors, now turned into these long times, and then you go to jail, and then you work for these companies. Same thing. This is not new. They're just remixing it on us, okay? So these pig laws allowed them to give longer sentences. So now you have a person in jail, for a long time. It's the same person or persons that built the country. Now we have our free labor force back. So through records throughout the South, you could see when the crop comes in, arrests will go up. They come out and just start looking for black folks and grab them. And they didn't have money for lawyers. They didn't have money for pardons. They didn't have money, influence. So most of them just kind of hoped I'll work my time and get out. Well, if while you're in jail something happens, guess what? You're there longer. There were some people that worked their time and they just told them flat out, you just can't go. A lot of this is cited in Douglas Blackman's Slavery by Another Name, Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow, the Jim Crow Routine Arthur's last name is Berry. And worse than slavery, Arthur's last name is Oshinsky. Okay? This system spread throughout the South to maintain the workforce that was lost from slavery. I own a multi-million-dollar corporation. Legislation has passed that has taken all of my labor. I either have to now start paying for it or find out how to get the free labor back. That's what happened. It is unrealistic for us to think that these wealthy men had no influence on how the 13th Amendment was written and the subsequent systems of labor exploitation that came after it. It's just unrealistic to think that those things just kind of fell into place and that it was not organized and articulated. So we're going to pick back up on convict leasing, but that's our 10 minutes.
The labor system that took shape in the late 19th century developed coercive means to ensure that cotton remained king. It was called convict leasing. Get arrested on a minor charge or a trumped-up charge, you could find yourself locked up and then hired out to a corporation bidding on inmate labor. The pipeline from prisons to profits in this country has deep roots.
The aftermath of slavery was in some ways worse than slavery itself. Unlike before, when someone who owned you, driving you too hard was counterproductive because you would lose your investment. Convict leasing was different. You could get them cheaper, and if you actually drove them to death, there was more where that came from.
In the 13th Amendment, which ends the institution of slavery, of course, there is a loophole. Convicts who have been convicted of a crime, they actually can be forced to work for free.
In Alabama in 1850, 99% of the people who were incarcerated were white. In Alabama by the 1880s, 85% of the people incarcerated were black. So we could have a debate about how many of those black people were actually innocent, or we could have a conversation about the use of the criminal justice system to target both the innocent and the guilty alike. That continues all the way to the present, where even today, about just under 40% of the nation's prisoners are black, and yet the African-American population is about 13%. They are snatching up bodies everywhere to fuel this system.
The idea in which more money can be made out of their incarceration is still very much part of our criminal justice system.
Children of Israel, this is a time. Time is enough. Time is enough. Live in unity. Are we not the sons of slaves? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Are we not the sons of slaves? Yeah. Are we not the children that run away from plantations? Yes, we are. Are we not the children of Israel? They took us away from Africa land, brought us down here to Babylon. Now we are like the roaring lion, Jahai, Jahai. Yes. Are we not the sons of slaves? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Are we not the children that run away from plantations? Yes, we are. Are we not gonna get no freedom? Tell me now, now.
us away on a rocket ship that would be the original ship. All we need is the cracking whip, Jahai, Jahai, yeah. Oh, we know the sons of slaves. Yes, we are. Say, yes, we are. Oh, we know the children of Israel. Yes, we are. Say, yes, we are.
Yes, the sons of slaves. So we want to bring to you our young Nana Kwame of Ghana, and to show those doubters that we are going to advance. Don't be a pessimist. Be a realist and do the best you can with your life and our families, and enrich ourselves with knowledge. You understand? The Industrial Revolution, the technological advancement revolution is on its way on the continent. Don't stand aside and criticize and have talent, have skills, have some knowledge, but yet still you're not ready to participate. No, we don't want no armchair alleged activists and revolutionists. Stop it. Don't say you like Malcolm. Don't say you like Mark. Don't say you like anybody of the past, and yet still you're not doing anything or trying to do something. Everybody can talk. Everybody can talk. It's action we want. You understand? Consistency and perseverance. Yeah, we have to persevere. So listen, I didn't want to bring this one, mess it up with other convict and everything, yeah, leasing and so forth. But I'll give you a little bit. God willing, tomorrow we bring the rest of it. Come here.
Why become importers when we can become exporters? Why do we import finished products that we once owned as raw materials? Why do we only have to sign contracts before we can make a living? Why are we not giving opportunities to people so they can also be signed? Why are we not signing the world, but the world is signing us? Instead of asking why, I think the time is now for the world to marvel at the work Africa can do and say, wow, wow, wow. It's time that we turn the story around ourselves.
So, advancement, that's just snippet of one individual. There are millions. And the creativity of what we call inventions is on the continent. The Europeans and the Americans, yes, I've said them have electronic car, them have car working on this and that. Solar pad cars, solar pad powered engines were developed and have been developed on the continent long time. A lot of young talents, curious of science and technology and electronics, have done such. In their own shed and the backyard and their compound, even the side of roads. There are engines that are running on palm oil. There are engines that are running on water. There's so much things. And we have satellites. We are deploying satellites. The creativity of Africa and the continent, the people, is there. The propaganda is showing something else. And the disturbance of AFRICOM and others have been causing Africa a whole heap of trouble, along with the legacy of the colonial past that still is present. But the generations have continued to strive because we are alive. Disrespecting, misusing of technologies, and disrespecting one another doesn't accomplish anything. It just helps those who opposes us, give them something to work with and something to educate our children with about character development. We have to understand where we are. We have to understand the mechanisms that work against us, not just for us. And we only give it strength. We have to stop that. Don't brutalize your brother and sister because you feel that you have a better point than they do. Or because they're coming from a different persuasion than I am. Who gave the authority for that judgmental mannerism? It's my parents that got together and my mother gave birth to me. You weren't involved. It's my grandparents that shaped our reality and our sense, their reality and sensibility and modality in the sphere that they evolved within. You weren't there. So how dare you decide to lambaste me because I'm of a different thought, persuasion, ideology, philosophy than yourself? That is wrong. That's so ignorant. My relatives in Panama has a different culture, different traditions than we do. They have different faith, our spirituality, our belief. They walk the same, we walk the same. We speak different. But we communicate in English with each other. So on that side, we're kind of like equal. But we are relatives. And we have embraced each other's experiences, very rich experiences. The point I'm making, you all need to change your ways, is running good people away from good people. Bad-minded, nonsensical people is running good-minded and useful people away from ourselves. We need each other. Don't matter if you got a PhD or bachelor. Don't matter if you study science, mathematics, electronics, medical science, you're a doctor, a lawyer. Don't matter. It's better. It adds to us. It doesn't subtract. We need to develop our consciousness. And we need to look at the word reasoning. And we need to look at the word called tolerance. And to be obedient to each other. I'm telling you, it's a serious problem. And we hurt each other. Now, here's one of our sisters in Europe that's has been disrespected. Now listen to how she dealt with the situation. And this is international. By herself, a female. And you brothers are running up your mouths and behaving badly for no reason whatsoever. Seriously, ego, ego, ego. What the hell? Pay attention.
Why is it that is looking like I have met this person and therefore the president of IPU has all of a sudden become a monster? Please treat me with dignity the same way I am treating you with dignity.
Here is your latest Africa news. Inter-Parliamentary Union's President Tulia Ackson, who hails from the East African country of Tanzania, called for members to treat her with dignity during a heated meeting of the Assembly in Geneva on Monday. This came after racist and disrespectful attacks by Western countries backing Ukraine. The dispute began when Artur Gerasimov, Ukraine's representative, called for a full protocol report of her meeting with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, asking if IPU resolutions about Russian aggression were discussed. Gerasimov and other Western representatives repeatedly attempted to interrupt the IPU president and retake the floor before she could respond. After having enough of the disrespect, IPU President Tulia Ackson finally clapped back. Listen to what she had to say.
You have already spoken. You were given a chance to speak here. Give me time to first address the Governing Council, respond to the issues that were raised, then we go back to the agenda because the agenda is very long and we only have 1 hour from now. Please, can you hold on? Thank you. It was to begin with Ukraine. Ukraine responded the dates that we were ready to visit them. Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Speaker would be in New York for the NATO meeting. Would I have stopped them? No. It would be wise. In any case, I don't have such powers. Now, because the meeting of BRICS was taking place, would I stop going to Russia because Ukraine is not ready to receive me because of time? No. Why? Because IPU stands for dialogue. IPU is talking about parliamentary diplomacy. And it is in that context that I did all that I did. And I thought I would be given a little credit for all the efforts that I've done, not to be crucified for things that I have not. You're asking here who mandated me. Who mandated the former president who came from the 12 plus to visit Kiev? Who mandated him? Please, I think we have to reach a point where I have explained myself several times to you 12 plus, to everybody else who cared to understand. I would like to inform my colleague that you might note that in November last year, I visited Palestine and I visited Israel and I met the leaders. And that was my first visit after becoming president in October. So it's not like I have ignored what is happening in the Middle East, what is happening in Lebanon, what is happening in Gaza, and what happened in Israel. So I treat all the conflicts the same way. Why is it that is looking like I have met this person and therefore the president of IPU has all of a sudden become a monster? Please treat me with dignity the same way I am treating you with dignity.
The Inter-Parliamentary Union is an international organization of national parliaments. Its primary purpose is to promote democratic governance, accountability, and cooperation among its members. Putin met with Ackson, who is the current Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania, in St. Petersburg in July. She added that, with the BRICS summit next week, she would not be stopped from going to Russia. Let us know your thoughts on what just happened during the Interparliamentary Union session.
Yes, you understand? It is how a person is raised and also how a person is educated and how a person taps into their emotion. Yes, and this is Africans. You understand? So we have picked up a lot of habits, you know? Habits. After all, we're the ancestors of the slaves. Now listen, and listen keenly.
Just because you're the big man, you're going around cheating everyone. But every day is just the same old way. Working hard and getting no pay. Don't you see I've gotten downhearted? I'm so tired of your promises. You should be ashamed. Oh yeah, I know you know that your thinking is wrong, but you just pretend that you don't understand. But every day bucket go to the well. One day the bottom must drop out, my friend. It seems you're happy making people downhearted, but your money and you soon be parted. You should be ashamed. Ooh, oh yeah, you must be ashamed, Lord.
Yes, you must be ashamed of your behavior. You not get it? Or you reach it? Which one? Come again.
Whether you are violent, whether you are great, yes. Rastaman, ooh, Rastaman, make your heart be troubled and yes.
Yo, and those people who have dreads. Yeah, dreadlocks and rasta is not a fashion, you know. Again, dreadlocks and rasta is not a fashion. It's also a tradition of growth on the continent. But it's not a fashion. It requires a person to behave and project themselves in a manner and a way that is highly respectful and highly regarded. So think, why is you have the locks or the dreads? If not, you can't fulfill. Trim them, because if it's fashion, you're fashion. Make people know. You understand? Oh gosh, man. Pan-African. Are you crazy? Wake up. And that brother that his ancestors is from Nigeria, he's calmed down somewhat, but he need to stop disrespecting people, because he's disrespecting himself. And he shows his ignorancy. He does. It doesn't make... listen. Get a passport and zip to Nigeria for 1 month. Seriously. Get a passport and zip to Nigeria in 1 month. You understand? And learn how to behave. Because you're not African. You're other than. The behavior doesn't... They're not synonymous, seriously. And you shouldn't even mention it anymore until you reform your mannerism, your attitude. Your attitude stinks.
Whether you are ballet, whether you are great, yes. Rastaman, Rastaman, make your heart be troubled and get you to be rude. You hear what they say? Fool, I address fool, I address and make no heathens turn you in a no fool. It's been a long time. I'm a man for nation. I'm bearing lots of tribulation.
At 75 years we are waiting now. You see? And we can't tolerate ignorant seed to come and be a distraction in our advancement. You understand? Seriously. I don't know about African Americans. I know about the continent. We're rising and we're making connection in the diaspora. We have a vision. We have a vision. And it's all about tolerance, you know. It's all about joining together. Acknowledging that we're one. We're not two, we're not three, we're not four, we're one. You understand? So don't stand over there and push up your chest and run up to your mouth. You can push up your chest, but don't run up your mouth and become ignorant. Control the emotion, control the ego. You understand? Seriously. Because Africa, we're rising. It's rising and it will rise. And those who have gone out, including America, they're coming home. We have some renegades, you know what I mean? They've gone out, they passed their degrees, everything, and now they don't want to contribute to the advancement. But it was understood. We understand that from the beginning. It's not like we shock. You understand? But we haven't given up on those people who have decided to turn. Some have come back and honored the institutions that aid and support their families in their pursuit. And then they've left and gone over to Europe, gone over to America and joined you all. But we know genes, we know the genetics, we know the social dynamics. They will be back. We know that. We're hurt and disappointed. But they will be back. That doesn't stop us. Or doesn't stop the progression. You understand? There's so many there trained doctors, are training to be doctors. And in science, and in technology. And the same goes for Russia and not the Ukraine. There were so many in the Ukraine. And that goes to China and everywhere. We're everywhere. So don't think that when you see an African brother and sister, they're disregarding you. They're on missions. They have a purpose. They're not there to go and see Jay-Z and Ray Ray. They're not for that star. You understand? Right? But you know what I mean? When graduation time come and exam finish and so forth, right? And some of them have friends in the NBA and this and that, they will go and have a look. But we're determined to be successful. So those things don't really go hand in glove. Can't you understand? and you think so that somebody is disrespecting and disregarding you all. It's not the case. It's a case that we are on a mission to learn, to achieve, to accomplish. You understand? Seriously. And there are things that is in that America that we require. And there's things in China we require, there's things in Russia we require. And that's called knowledge. You understand? It's called knowledge. And we'll seek it out. Unless them tell us otherwise. You understand? So for you all to think so that we're going to run around Jay-Z and Michael Jordan and Nike and all of them something there and everything. No. It's when we leave to go on back, we're going to do a big shopping. You understand? But top priority is to get an apartment, register and pass all the entry tests to the universities and everything, and go about studying. Not running down behind you guys and playing amusement and girls. No, stop it, man. You have to have a purpose in life. And we have purpose. Come here. Listen. Yeah, don't make the music frighten you, know. Listen to the words, listen to the lyrics, listen to the lyrical content. Gee whiz, come here. Don't get scared. Come on. Up, and away. Yeah, the largest population of Africans outside of the continent of Africa and not North America is in Brazil. Yo, they take us wholeheartedly, man. You understand? And you know how hard it is for them? You have to pay attention, man. Seriously. Love. African love. Me mama, me daddy, grandpa, grandma. Yeah.
Over the years, black people been living in pain.
Listen.
And over the years, we all been feeling the strain.
Did you hear that?
But the time has come when we all must see the light.
Express yourself, man.
We've been buried down here in the dark for so long.
Tell them again.
Martin Luther been preaching about humanity. What? It is true. Marcus Garvey been preaching about equality.
Cheer up, cheer up.
Did not love to hear them kind of man talk.
Oh, you mean?
Oh no, they congregate and sound like dogs love bark. Cheer up, black man, you know the battle is won. Cheer up, black man, you know we all are one. Cheer up, black man, you know the battle is won.
See, you can never, ever find a rhythm track like that, designed like that in America among African Americans. It's a shame. And Jamaica just next door. When you are sneeze and fart, we smell it and catch cold. So when we are work with the roots and the culture, why you not tune in? Is it? That just shows you, see, you're not friendly. And you don't understand the culture. You see? The African culture. You need to deal with the African culture, the roots. You see? Cultural roots. Right? Okay. Here we go again. Last two and we're gone in. Yo, are we still at work with all that 4-track mix and everything? You see it? Are you people come up with all big 34 and 64 track and everything? 32 and everything. See it? Yes. And then when I run up on the mouth about hip hop, this, that, and everything. Come on, mate. Please. Listen.
Babylon want the nation, tell them about your love. Tell them about your love. Kidnap, send down a Babylon want the nation, tell them about your word. Your love searching, it's that pure and clean. To rally round the red, gold and green. Yeah, to rally round the red, gold and green. Black man, look in yourself. This is the time we all must unite.
You hear them words there? Look into yourself. This is the time we all must unite. Say, write something, man. Come. Part 2. Don't screw. Don't go on like a bunny bow. Boy, come. Daddy, 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 love. Listen.
God send down a Babylon want the nation, tell them about your love.
Work it, brother, work it.
Tell them about your love. Kidnap, send down a Babylon want the nation, tell them about your word. Your love searching, it's that pure and clean. To rally round the red, gold and green.
Raise it up, raise it
up. Yeah, to rally round the red, gold and green.
Mash it, mash it.
Black man, look in yourself. This is the time we all must unite. We all must unite. 400 years we have been here as a slave. Now I and I must find a way. I'm not being enslaved. No shackle down our feet, no whip on our back. Yet I and I must realize we are still being enslaved.
Daddy love.
400 years we have been here as a slave. Now I and I must find a way. I'm not being enslaved. No shackle down our feet, no whip on our back. Yet I and I must realize we are still being enslaved. Send down a Babylon want the nation, tell them about your love. Tell them about your
Move it. Smash it. Hello. We can't feel it. Run, boy, run. Beat, beat. Yeah. Settle down now, settle. Hey, Buddha, Buddha. Rastafari, Buddha. Buddha. I tell you, man, I hope you enjoying yourself, you know, wherever you're there. You understand? But the man, they miss you, you know. I true. They miss you, man. Seriously. Q miss you bad star. So what's up? Call in the man. Let the people them see that, you know what I mean? You're fresh and green and clean as per normal. Request and we're gone. Guidance to the panel. Yeah, when I don't have no tune, man. When I short of messages. Serious thing. Listen this. You can buy this here for $550. I would mean US dollars, you know. Serious thing. If it's an option, you know, say it's going to be like thousands. You know what I'm saying to you? Come here.
When I was a clean-faced man, they used to know my name, but now that I'm a dreadlocks man.
Yeah, you see we? Are you all like me? We grew up around with elders, you see? And them teach with discipline, right? And how them teach with discipline is their character become a reflection of positivity towards us. See? And them no cost unnecessary and everything, but them never cost round way. You understand me? Right? And they make us to understand the value of relationship. You see? Yeah, man. Friendship. The value of it. And how to reason with people. And sometimes say few words. You understand me? But ask enough questions. And reggae music are for we experience in life and our surroundings and everything. It takes a girly and all them something there. No, star. A real thing. You see? It's all about our social environment. It's our surroundings. And then we have protest sounds, obviously, I guess. You know what I mean? Waking up the government and the police and soldier. And, you know what I mean? But, right? But it's true experience. And the artificial something. You understand? Nah. An artificial something. And then and about pulling gun and knife. Nah, star. See? So you must listen. And if you want them type of experiences, you can go country. Hey, in America, we have countryside, or that countryside only for white people. And you can go to the countryside and you have waterfalls and everything. Just go on there with the family star. You see? And sit down and carry someone that can play acoustic guitar and some Congo and bongo drums and kitty drums, you know, and relax away from the city and from the concrete jungle, you know what I mean, and the pollutions and everything. See? Yeah, you're good. It's healthy. It's good for the body. Not the external, you know, it's good for the internal. Yeah? It's good for the mind. Yeah, it has an impression on the body. You see? Okay. So that's just like advice, you know what I mean? For free. Concrete jungle. No, you don't want that, man. You want to go in the countryside someplace where you have waterfall and everything. If you can't do that, find a beach. You know what I mean? And just don't go spend a couple hours. You need to, you know what I mean? 3 days is a good time still, you know. Yeah. You understand? Friday evening, they go to Saturday, stay all Saturday, and stay all Sunday, and switch off the internet, phone, and everything. You understand? You don't want all of that. Have it with you just in case of emergency, but nah. You don't want to be on that. You don't want to go out there so you chill and, you know, you cleanse the self, organic detoxification, all kind of something. And then you're there on the phone and your laptop. No, defeatist. You understand? Leave that stuff alone. Take your phone, switch it off back, right? Or whatever you can do with it. Put it on vibration. But, you know, and tell people, see, you go away. Not people that will break your house, you know. Anyway, you know what for though. All of you, come on, man. Seriously. Concrete Jungle, Castle Kings, come on.
When I was a clean-faced man, they used to know my name. But now that I'm a dreadlocks man, they don't even know me anymore. Alabama, the time has come again. Alabama, they don't even know my name. Don't judge a man by the way he looks. Judge a man by his way. Father said, let no.
Each one teach one, and we that man. You know what I mean? Don't spoil that, you know, star. Come again. Yo, guidance we gone. Information, education, proper. Cultural expression at your service, man.
Cherry lady.
Oh, Marcia, Aisha, may I tell you, listen, I've not forgotten you, now, star. It's just these brothers them across the water, across the pond, you know what I mean? I kind of like them, you know, but so Marcia, hold tight, Aisha, hold tight. You know, I tell you, man. Marcia, you go rock with me, you know, because you know, you're half pint and junior. Aisha.
Cherry lady.
What you say? You know I said that we never. How could I ever forget to know? You're crazy. Stop it. Marcia, come close now. Stop pretending. Baby.
Cherry lady.
I find
Sweet baby. Got to you.
Hey, Aisha, may I tell you this sweet, you know, Marcia, you better come get your portion, you know, may I tell you. Half pint, full pint now, man. Big man that, you know. Listen.
Cherry lady.
Romance, come here.
Sweet baby.
How you mean?
I want your love.
Bebo.
Every hour, every minute, every time. Gotta be mine.
Settle, Charlie Chaplin. Settle.
Mine, oh mine. Oh yeah. I want your love. Every hour, every minute, every time. Gotta be.
Oh, gosh, Marcia, me oh, the lover run come down. Quick, come here. Come.
Cherry lady. Sweet baby. Got to have you. I want your love.
Bebo. Chaplin, behave yourself.
Every minute, every time.
Charlie Chaplin, rest, man.
Mine, oh mine. Oh yeah. I want your love. Every hour, every minute, every time. Gotta be mine.
Yo, Buddha, Somebody tell me, see them stay with the princess lady. I tell them, you must be happy. True. Because I'm happy, you know, I'm always happy with my wife. And, yeah, yo, Buddha, request to you and your queen, man. Come again. Yeah. For real, Buddha. I tell you, man, for real. Request.
Cherry, cherry, cherry lady.
Straight up.
Sweetie, sweetie, sweet baby.
Easy, Chaplain, easy. Buddha.
I want your love every hour, every minute, every time.
Can't touch him. Strong like a lion.
I want your love every hour, every minute, every time. Gotta be mine.
Easy Soul Supreme.
Come rain, come shine, yeah. And alright, you gotta be mine.
Papa Roach.
Me, lady. Through thick and thin.
African symbol.
And oh yeah, I've gotta win. That's why I keep on saying, I want your love.
Jawise.
Every hour, every minute, every time.
Every time.
Gotta be mine. Mine, oh mine.
Artist.
Lady, I want your love. Every hour, every minute, every time. Gotta be mine.
Marcia.
Mine, oh mine.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. Just like magnet and steel, it goes down and won't let go. No. Just like a river that always flows. I want your love.
Yeah, Buddha. Yeah, Chaplain say, cut that one and bring him in quick. Guidance for gone.
Oh, this one dedicated to all of the man them who sniff them liquor this and sniff them liquor that. Well, me assure you say drugs is a disgrace and it a take over the whole of the place. John, racism, fascism, innocent killing, cocaine, blood stain and heroin smoking, malicious, not no sang vicious.
Yes, Buddha, me understand where you deal with it now. You run from it. Gun star! Up!
Oh, this one dedicated to all of the man them who sniff them liquor this and sniff them liquor that. Well, me assure you say drugs is a disgrace and it a take over the whole of the place. John, racism, fascism, innocent killing, cocaine, blood stain and heroin smoking, malicious, not no sang vicious, envious, vigorous, well dangerous, humiliate, less faith and pay pirate, eat food, go to bed, no prayers, no grace, them no have no class, them no have no taste, them a use our drugs and a mash up the place, say me afraid of you, say drugs man, say me afraid of you, Lord, but you know dread, say every man have a right to decide his own destiny. Yeah. But soon they will find out Chaplain is the real revolutionary. So me no go no dance around, me no drive no car, no do no slam, me no eat no flowers to play. I'm the lightest nation of Indian. This nation that a black man, the king for the animal that a lion. Me know no history but lion. Purest water river Jordan, who control island like a Caribbean. The wickedest soldier Egyptian, me afraid of you. Say drugs man, say me afraid of you, Lord. Some dull, some sharp, some of them style and when come a dance and me know if it talk. Look some me park at a DJ attack, Papa Chaplain lad at the DJ bar. Lone Ranger no blind to wearing mask just because him hide them cat. Can't up on a big white house, so I look out for when them trouble a pass. Afraid of you. Say drugs man, say me afraid of you, Lord. So racism, fascism, innocent killing, cocaine, blood stain and heroin smoking, malicious, not no sang vicious, envious, vigorous, well dangerous, humiliate, less faith and pay pirate, eat food, go to bed, no prayers, no grace, so no have no class, so no have no taste. Them a use our drugs and a mash up the place. The only thing I tell you that them accumulate is a maga body and one big bony face. Say me afraid of you, drugs man, Papa Chaplain, afraid of you. Mash it. Me say me afraid of you. Young man, make me tell you, say me afraid of you.
Again.
Don't let me tell you, say me afraid of you. Lord, say me no take no drugs, we go booze up myself and I go on like a Heineken, no back up on shelf. Me come in at the place and me nice it up, just so that see the people them just a do bubble up. Then grab them liquor and them start to suck, and then them hold them girlfriend and then them hug her up. Me say me afraid of you, dogs man, Papa Chaplin afraid of you. And so me say me afraid of you, Lord. So me no go no dance around. Me no drive no car, no do no song. Me no eat no flowers, we play. I'm the lightest nation in India. Strongest nation that a black man, the king for the animal that a lion. Me do no history about Zion. Purest water river Jordan. The wickedest soldier Egyptian who control island Arabian. Me afraid of you, hey. Dogs man, me afraid of you. Like Papa Chaplin afraid of you. From dusk till dawn, say me afraid of you. Me have to rock and come on, come me afraid of you. Me have to call me salon, come me afraid of you. Do it, yeah. Dogs man, me afraid of you. So me say rock it, me say rock it. So me say skank it, make me skank it. And me say don't beat, make you don't beat. Can't kill yourself, me rub it, me say rub it. That drugs man can't stand. Inna this ya Armageddon. Now we righteous man at the stand.
See,
and this one up reach number one.
I'm telling you, I wanna play when it come to who I deal with. You know what I mean? When I play with it. When I play with it, man. That's how we stay. D Brown, sign off.
If it's their own mistake, they can't stop to wait to stop and change the time. It's the fulfillingness that is happening now, and it's here for all to see. The time.
Yo, you get it? The time, you know. Come again, D Brown. Give them that verse. Come. Listen.
If it's their own mistake, they can't stop to wait to stop and change the time. It's the fulfillingness that is happening now, and it's here for all to see. The time.
Yes, D Brown, may I tell you, man, too intelligent. Come here. You're poor man city, right? And you're there on concrete jungle too long. See? So Africa requires a visit from all of you. See? You've been in a concrete jungle too long. See? You need to escape it and give your heart and spirit, your body, give your temple an opportunity to embrace the earth. You understand? Seriously, when I've been around gun, firework, all heap of thing, right? Concrete, yo, seriously. When I need to smell some clean air and see people that look like you enough, you understand? With a different character. See? With different character and everything. Serious thing. You understand? It's a good thing. Don't leave the place for the new Tarzan, because when I even embrace him, I would have shut him down. Him or her. You understand? So, when I have some money, you understand? Africa. Yeah, man. Africa. Venture, your adventure should be in Africa. See it? And taste the fragrance. Smell it and everything. Seriously. It recharges you. Seriously. It's beautiful. Come. It await you. Come. Leave concrete jungle and just come pay a visit to Mama Africa. You understand? So when you leave the concrete jungle, you know where you leave with? You leave all the hostility, all the arrogance, all of them something there you park up, you know. Right? Because you make your intention to travel, and that's what you do. And you bring, and those of you a partner, bring them with you. Don't just come by yourself. Not a man thing. Right? Your partner, bring her along with you. You see? You have wife, bring her along with you, star. Seriously. Next time you organize yourself, you can bring your children and everything, because you know, say, it is beneficial. You understand? And then you can make links with uptown people, poor town people, village people, everything. You see? Yeah. And then you can sit down and close your eyes and have a dream. And the dream is, I made it. I made it. I actually visited the motherland. You see? So by the time you come back the next time, then you can go and see the slave ports and all them stuff. But you don't want to come and do that, because that become a disturbance. See? So you want to park up, make the intention, park up the concrete, and everything that goes with that. So by the time you get on the airplane, you know, you've divorced all of that. You understand? And then make Lance come and sit by the window so him can see the earth and see it not flat. And it's not a pyramid. And all of them something. You understand? And then when you pass through some landmass and everything, him say, what? And all of a sudden him see water and yo, that's enough education between him and his eyes. You understand? And then by the time they come to the continent now and them see the way they come in now and everything, him just like, wow, him marvel. You understand? And if them come that route, now him see pyramids. And he's like, wow. And it's a good thing him up there, because him can't fall out. You understand? And it's beautiful, star. But don't just come and see you want to go 5-star hotel and everything. The only thing you have to do, I would advise, is just get the mosquito repellent and rub your body down with that, and that cool, because the mosquito, them no fool. Them smell fresh blood. You understand? And that's if you're going to a place that's, you know, they have water running and, you know, open drains and things like that. There will be mosquitoes around. If there's none of that, there's none. But nevertheless, just carry it with you. And to be on the safe side, just make sure you have the repellent cream, not the repellent spray, man. The spray is for the bedroom, is for the room, you understand, it's for the inside the house. But the repellent cream, just rub that down on the arms and the legs and everything, and you're good. You see? You're good, seriously. You know what I mean? And that's all. Nothing more. You see? Africa, beautiful. Guidance, you're gone. Continue African history tomorrow and so forth. God willing. Listen. Poor man city crying, no? Yeah!
I am on my way to a better day. I am on my way, no time to delay. So I watch and pray while I live each day. Too much tribulation, too much provocation, because I'm poor. They break down my door, they burst my head until my blood is shed. I did not get my share, so I don't live nowhere. I could not pay my rent, I did not have a cent, so they throw me out. Now I'm all about.
Poor man crying. Poor man in the city of concrete crying, you know.
Because you have your gun, you shoot a man for fun. Because you had your knife, you took my brother's life. One thing you did not know, before you puff and blow. Too much tribulation, too much provocation. I get no food to give to my kids. I get no clothes to cover my ribs. I am on my way.
Sin, I tell you, man, reality we deal with. Things and times out, we gone. Give thanks. Guidance.